Welcome to Victorious Parenting. I'm your host, Arabella Hill. Now's the time to transform your home life and make parenting a breeze by learning and applying new strategies. Let's get into it. Today we're talking about social intelligence, and more specifically, social intelligence for kids. And we've been talking about the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence. And let's just have a little quick recap of what they are. So the first pillar of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. The second is emotional regulation. The third is self-motivation. The fourth is empathy. And the 5th pillar of emotional intelligence is social intelligence. Scientists have discovered that emotional intelligence is a stronger predictor of future successful outcomes when it's built in children than IQ is. And companies out there are starting to cotton on to all of this research. They don't just want people with experience. Can you do the job or not? Or can you fit into our sort of like social economic culture, our vibe that we got going on? They want people who are highly emotionally intelligent because it's a relational thing. They are able to regulate and label their own emotions. They don't project onto other people. They aren't narcissists, basically. They're able to connect and empathize with people on a deep level without taking on their emotions onto their own being and having it ruin their day. They're very socially intelligent. And so social intelligence makes you more likable. And there's no qualms about it that socially intelligent kids are more likable. They get along with a lot of different groups, but they aren't confined to cliques. And that's the difference. You know, growing up, that there were cliques and groups for everyone, you know, the sort of nerds and the jocks and all of these other little groups. Well, socially intelligent kids, they tend to get along with people across these groups without necessarily conforming in one way or another to one of these groups or cliques. It doesn't mean they don't have their own interests and things like that. It means they become more worldly minded in the sense and more open-minded, that they are more attuned to all of these other different aspects of life. They're not so rigid in a way. They're more open-minded. And because they are keen learners and observers of human nature, they carve out their own destinies despite peer pressure. They know what to do in toxic peer-pressured environments. But social intelligence on its own doesn't work as well without the first 4 pillars of emotional intelligence. All 5 pillars are really incredibly important. They all work together. Can you have one without the other? Yes, you can. You could become highly self-aware without being self-motivated. So I could be highly self-aware and aware that I need to get up and exercise because it's good for my body, but I'm not self-motivated enough to do it because I don't truly understand the long-term outcomes in that will outweigh the short-term pain that I will experience on my journey to it. You see, when someone has the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence built within them, they will be self-motivated and self-aware. You can have a lot of empathy, but again, without self-awareness, you can end up taking other people's problems onto yourself, and it can end up mixing with your own problems and your own feelings. You can end up feeling down and depressed and not knowing why, but really you're just soaking up the energy of others. And that is going just way beyond true empathy, because empathy without self-awareness does become toxic. You can become really socially intelligent and be a social butterfly. I have met lots of people like that. And one person recently I met, and he described himself as a social butterfly. And he was on his phone from morning till night with constant phone calls, engagements, lots and lots of social interaction with people. But this person was still highly, highly unhappy, even though he had lots and lots of friends and was bonding with them, particularly sometimes on deep levels, because he didn't have the other pillars of emotional intelligence built within him. He didn't have self-awareness, the ability to then draw a line between boundaries. He was just constantly sociable all the time without actually spending time on himself. He didn't know how to emotionally regulate his own behavior. And so when a little upset happened with this friend or that friend, he would take it personally and then project onto them and lash out on them in a destructive manner, which means he had a lot of friends, but his turnover for friendship was high also. He never was able to keep the friends for very, very long. Always able to make new friends, very socially intelligent in that way, but very unemotionally intelligent, not able to really form long-lasting relationships. You see, it's not about how many friends we have or how many people like us. It's about the quality of relationships we have in our lives. And that is what building emotional intelligence within our kids helps them do as adults. And this isn't something you are born with. It has to be trained and teach within you, which is why I'm so passionate about helping parents build emotional intelligence within their children from a very young age, so that when they're older, they already are armed and equipped with everything they need to hit the ground running in their lives. They will be able to form stronger and higher quality relationships with others that lead to successful life outcomes in all areas of their lives. So, if you're interested in building emotional intelligence within yourself and in your kids, check me out on Facebook under Victorious Parenting, or look up my website, victoriousparenting.com. I have a course that's specifically for parents called Unshakable Confidence for Kids. It helps you develop the 5 pillars of emotional intelligence within yourself and your kids so your entire family can become unshakably confident for life. In this course, you will get 6 power-packed modules that will level up your parenting beyond something that you've ever dreamed of. You will get 3 free bonuses to enrich your learning. This is going to take your parenting to the next level, and I guarantee this is not a common thing. Most parents are not actively building emotional intelligence within their children. Maybe one of the pillars or the others, they want them to become more empathetic, or they want them to become motivated, or they want them to become more socially in tune. But as you can tell from the example I gave earlier, if you have one without the other, you become out of balance, and it can lead to unsuccessful life outcomes. The key is to build all 5 pillars of emotional intelligence, and that's what this course helps you do. You will get a course workbook that I've designed to help track your progress. There's no point in just learning something and just applying it unless you can actually track how you're going. How do you know what you're doing is successful? You need to track your progress, and the workbook is designed to help you do that. And each module builds upon the first, the foundation of the last module. So by the end of the course, you will know exactly how to foster emotional intelligence within your kids, and not just them, but within yourself too, because you may have listened to this series and think, well, I don't really have emotional intelligence built within me the way that I would like to. And the brilliant thing about this course is that you can apply these strategies to yourself as well. You can teach them to your spouse and to your friends. You can share that goodwill and experience the success that comes from strong emotional intelligence and relationships that you will build because of it in your life. So check it out at victoriousparenting.com. If you would like access to more parenting resources and a big supportive community, I'd like to invite you to our Facebook group, Victorious Parenting. I give regular content every single day, and we have a unit section where you can find all the best content. There are some short form and long form content in there, like the Grey Rock Method and how to deal with sibling rivalry. And as well, you'll get to be a part of a great big community of parents who are becoming victorious just like you. We'd love to have you join us in Victorious Parenting. Discover the 7 biggest mistakes parents make that can lower their child's self-esteem forever. PromotingSelfesteem.com.